Caloroga Shark Media.
Hi there, I'm Johnny Mac with 5 good news stories. Congratulations to Vienna. The home field advantage really helped them out as they won the first Tram Driver World Cup. That's right, public transport enthusiasts were hanging out in Vienna to watch the first ever Tram Driver World Championships. There were 25 teams from across the world, but it was Team Vienna who won the championship. Tram drivers faced 8 challenges testing their ability to operate heavy trams. They were tested on things like braking and accelerating smoothly. The audience was into some of the fun events, including tram bowling, which featured a giant ball used to knock down inflatable pins, tram curling, where a bicycle trolley is pushed with such precision that it comes to a halt at a specific spot. A lot of people thought the reigning European champions out of Budapest, they thought they would win, but nope. They dropped to 4th place as Vienna took the championship. Poland came in 2nd, Norway was 3rd. Next year's championships, if you want to go, they're in Warsaw. 50,000 people attended the championship, and it was live-streamed. 3 Scottish brothers went ashore in Australia and claimed the record for rowing non-stop and unsupported across the Pacific Ocean. Euan, Jamie, and Lachlan set off in a carbon fiber dinghy from Lima in Peru in April, 9,000 miles and 139 days at sea. At one point, Euan was swept overboard. He had to be pulled back into the boat. The brothers from Edinburgh were given a bagpipe welcome in front of family and friends. Do you like taking pictures of your cat? Well, you have a new reason to take photos of your cat. It might actually help the cat. A new company, sylvester.ai, has developed an app called Tabi that uses your phone's camera to tell whether or not your cat is feeling pain. The app looks at the cat's ear and head position, eye narrowing, muzzle tension, and how whiskers change to detect distress. Scientists explain cats that are worried or scared will hold their tail really tight and tense. And aside from that, they're also just thinking about their behavior in terms of what they're eating, drinking, toileting, sleeping. You know who else is anxious is comedian Marc Maron. He's part of a new documentary called Anxiety Club. Marc said, there's a lot of things I don't give a hoot about that I used to that were big anxiety-producing things. I think with age and certainly with money, a lot of that stuff is just null and void. It's relief. Then you start to get into deeper issues like, why am I still not enjoying myself? So check out Anxiety Club. This is not a commercial. This is just something positive. Anxiety Club blurs the lines of vulnerability and humor and promises an unflinching look at how deeply rooted anxiety and depression are in the stand-up comedy scene. You may know I host a podcast called Daily Comedy News that comes out 7 days a week. Other comedians appearing this include Mark Normand, Joe List, Baron Vaughn, Aparna Nancherla. Not household names, but trust me, I'm expert in this. They are very funny comedians. We also find out that Hollywood's Laugh Factory Comedy Club hired a psychologist in residence to support its comedians. And I haven't done this trope in a while. Why were you late for work? Okay, so some commuters were stuck on a train. One guy was smart. He went on social media to document what was going on. We hear the train driver making an announcement. We currently have a Swan on the line, hence, that's why I'm going slow. As soon as it's moved out of the way, we should be able to move at normal speed. Yes, there was a Swan on the tracks. Now, this apparently happens a lot. In one area of the UK, swans were responsible for the highest number of passenger disruptions. The issue has become so widespread that railway workers are now receiving training on how to safely remove swans from the tracks. One person said, if you hadn't recorded it, I wouldn't have believed you. That's why you always record these things so that your boss believes you. And those are your 5 good news stories for today. You have an awesome day.